Ernesto. First of all, thank you for being here. And to everybody that's joining us today, thank you for being here. Today we're going to talk about DNS possibly being your weakest link in your network. So basically, we're going to start off right now. We're going to go into our agenda. We're going to do a small introduction. From there, we're going to talk about understanding the threat landscape for SMBs. From there, we're going to go to how Rua-Tek DNS Shield is supporting and protecting customers, specifically in the SMB market. We will then go into why Rua-Tek chose Infoblox. We'll talk a little bit about customer business outcomes, and then we can go into questions and answers. So, my name is Pablo Charpentier. I'm going to be your host today. I'm actually the founder and CTO of Rua-Tek, which is based out of beautiful Costa Rica. I have over 20 years in experience in DNS, DHCP, and IPAM, and I've also been involved in a lot of consulting for GSLB projects, which is global site load balancing, which is based off external DNS. Actually, I lead a team of professional services engineers that are based out of Costa Rica, and we do Infoblox implementations in Latin America and the US. I'm actually pushing for DNS protection at the SMB level. We have many SMB customers which have the need to be able to be protected from DNS-based attacks. So we are really pushing this hard to get these types of solutions into our SMB clients. With me, joining me today is Ernesto Schettino. He has over 25 years of experience in cybersecurity. He's been in advisory and hands-on roles in the public and private sector. He has been working also as a security architect for networks, open source, and proprietary vendor solutions. And as far as DNS, he's been involved in both architecture and protection of enterprise and open source products. Okay. He also has a lot of experience in incident response, addressing emerging attacks, and mitigating these attacks. So, with that said, I'm going to hand it over to you, Ernesto, so you can
Well,
go
Thank,
ahead.
thank you, Pablo, and thank you everybody to be here today. Um, um, if you mind, I will like start sharing probably. Yes, as you were saying,
There you go.
there's a huge gap in security to these days. Sadly, I think that this is an obligated question. Do you feel really safe online today? Probably the answer is no. Probably if you do online banking, you don't feel safe. You receive emails that you were not supposed to receive, SMS messages, open media messages, whatever, social networking, etc. They're probably not good, and you will not be able to actually defend yourself from things that you don't understand or you don't know as a user. And probably that looks a little bit bleak, but is the truth. Sadly, hackers, bad actors, threat actors, cyber attackers are behind us, and they want something from us. They just want one thing from us specifically, and that thing, curiously enough, is money. So, sadly, during 2024, and this is a study not made by Ernestito, but actually by Bloomberg. They noticed that the cybercrime economy is becoming the third largest economy in the world, amounting for 9.5 trillion US dollars, and it's predicted that it will grow around 10.5 trillion dollars in the next year. So, uh, and at the end of 2025, it's probably that's going to be the amount of money that they are gonna steal from us, because actually they're no Robin Hood. They're not stealing and give it back. They're stealing and keep it for themselves. And besides that, they actually, what we've seen in this very first Q of 2025 that is already analyzed and wrapped is that um, ransomware attacks, successful ransomware attacks, actually increased 213% in just one Q. And that's something that has got to do with the ability of these criminals to actually leverage both cyber attacks with artificial intelligence and making more conspicuous their attacks, but also with the ability for them to obfuscate with different tactics and techniques. So that said, um, SMBs are actually becoming kind of sitting dogs, sad to say it, but true. Uh, we have these reports around 94% of all the SMBs are being targeted somehow, at least once, by a cyber attack. And 90% of those SMBs are actually afraid that they will be attacked next. So that is a very, very sensitive number. And you can see that breaches are only increasing. And there's another component to this. Attackers, so hackers, they know that only one third of these SMBs have well, actually, protection that is tailored more for end customers, for consumer market rather than for enterprises. So getting an enterprise degree protection for an SMB is really complicated because either the amount of licensing required to enter an enterprise agreement with regular vendors is too high, or even the costs are not corresponding with what the small and medium business has in mind to protect themselves from the cyber attacks. Besides that, there's this problem that the muscle around IT in small and medium businesses is usually one or two people, and they regularly cope with more operational parts than well, cybersecurity. So they're more preoccupied around having their website up and running and having customers getting into the digital POSs and having the ability to pay, than rather protect all of that infrastructure. Not because they're not willing to do it, but because time is consuming them. So eventually, you need a service that is able to actually protect you from that, right? So that's it. In Latin America alone, it's around 54% of the cyber attacks have been increasing, and that's the bleak panorama that we got. So, and just to make it even more compelling, the estimated cost of cyber attacks around precisely SMBs is $200,000 in average. So that may be disrupting many small and medium businesses that are their whole capital, their whole amount of money is about that. And many of them have to pay the ransom because otherwise they cannot recover. So it's not a happy world in which we're living for small and medium businesses. They're not really fully covered or protected, and it's likely to increase in the coming years. So I will stop saying bad things about it, but we need to understand that we are all under attack. It's not only small and medium businesses; it's everybody, like regular people and large industries, large enterprises. We day in and day out are getting news around. Hey, there was a these many credentials exfiltration for this large corporation. There was this large enterprise data breach. They uncovered some top secret documents and stuff like that. That happens day in and day out, and everybody is a victim here. So now, where do we get into this place? Why do we get into this place? So let me get you into something that is really amazing. We have this phone book for the computers named DNS. And sadly, this is the way that computers they talk to each other happily, because that's the only way that we figured out that it was good to do. So whenever you need to make a phone call, You don't start a phone call without being actually in a phone, because these days you don't memorize this many phone numbers, right? So what you do is actually you go to your agenda and you find the person's name, and then it dials in. So DNS does the same exactly, and that's it. It's a very plain thing to do, but it's got a lot of tricks and tweaks behind it. So what is the tricks and tweaks behind it? Is what hackers and attackers do to actually propagate a lot of different types of attacks that it I won't overwhelm you with the amount of them, but at least we got almost to 100 TTPs in security that are related to the phone book of the computer. So name it the DNS system. So it is important to cover it. Absolutely. It is paramount to actually protect it. Yes, it is. You don't give your phone book to everybody, and that's it. Well, there's a way to protect you throughout this same thing. So imagine that you are not anymore at risk, or we can reduce your risk considerably when you are uh, doing a money transfer, when you are utilizing your credit card online, when you are following a link on a social media, when you are opening a file that is being just downloaded to your computer. So imagine that you can actually trust what you're seeing again. That's something that is probably a goal that is look too bold, but it's possible. We can actually make that possible for you, and with a simple protection. So I will let Pablo talk about this protection around how we can leverage this phone book of the internet for our benefit, just as the attackers do right now. Instead of letting them through with those attacks, let's protect ourselves from them with the same types of techniques. So I'll hand it over again to Pablo, and he's going to explain us how he's developed a service that is tailored for the small and medium business and that we can all consume.
So basically, um, we want to introduce Shield. Basically, we developed Shield because of three specific things. Okay, number one, SMBs are being attacked. They're definitely being attacked. Attackers do understand that one of the weakest links, and not just only in the small and medium business space, but also in the enterprise space, we have a lot of enterprises that are being attacked. So we definitely get need to get that protection uh, into the SMB. What has been the problem before? Number one, we have vendor pricing. One of the things that we have found is that most of the companies or vendors that are providing these types of solutions have solutions for companies that are over 500 seats. So that would leave us out as far as SMBs. It's very difficult to get them a solution because the purchase needs to be really high. So that's one of the things that we needed to attack initially. Number two, excuse me, number two is the lack of experience with DNS and DNS protection. So this is something that we see in Latin America, in the US also. There's a lot of uh, lack of experience of DNS. A lot of people don't know how it works. They don't know what the difference is between internal DNS and external DNS. So basically, this is where we wanted to provide this type of service because it's a managed service. So we're coming in, we're doing all the heavy lifting for you, where you basically just need to sign up, and then we'll do the deployment and do the administration from our side. One of the things that we have done with Infoblox is basically work with them and to show them, this is specifically the market space for the SMB. They do have needs. They do have the capacity to acquire these solutions. So basically, we work with them and we put together a service to be able to protect the SMB in the easiest way uh, for the SMB. Okay, so number one, it's managed by Rua-Tek. So basically, we will do the deployment, we will do the configuration, and we will do the management for you. We will be your hands and eyes as far as protecting you from attacks based on DNS. So number one is a managed service. Number two is it's powered by Infoblox. Okay, so all of the technology that we are using, it's based on Infoblox threat defense. So we have been working with Infoblox for over 15 years now. We really know the product. We know it's a market leader, and that's why we have chosen to partner up with Infoblox to bring this solution to the space. It's well needed, so we really need to make headway here with SMBs to be able to protect them. Okay, so so what is Shield? So it's a managed service. It's a service that will come and help us protect DNS so that we do not get attacked. There are specific attacks that we're looking at. Number one is the spread of malware. So that's one of the things that we're trying to halt right now. With the technology, we have the capacity to look into the DNS communication and verify if the queries are malicious or if they're not malicious. Another thing that we're doing is we're detecting DNS tunnels. So this is something very important. Um, if you go into an enterprise network and if you go into a small medium business, you're going to have the same exact configuration as far as DNS. As far as DNS leaving the enterprise or the SMB. So what this means is that port 53 and UDP and TCP usually are open. So basically, what happens is it's a highway to be able to introduce or to exfiltrate data, and additionally, it helps the attackers propagate or spread malware. Okay, so one of the things that is really, really important is the ability to be able to detect tunnels or DNS tunnels that act as somehow a VPN tunnel to be able to make traffic go out of the enterprise or SMB and to come into the network via these DNS tunnels. So with Infoblox, we have the visibility, we have the technology to be able to detect these types of tunnels. And then we go into the third part, which is stopping the data exfiltration. And data exfiltration basically is the ability for attackers to steal information from us. So let's say we're an SMB, we have a database with all of our our clients with credit card numbers, financial information, PII. So that type of information can be stolen with a really small script that will actually parse the information or whatever you're stealing into little pieces, and it will get exfiltrated via DNS. So that's the thing that we're trying to gain visibility. We're trying to protect that type of attack from happening. And all this is being done by Infoblox, and it's also being done by us because we're basically taking charge of the configuration, of the monitoring of the solution so that we can protect SMBs. One of the things that I really want to say again is that we are powered by Infoblox, and we're powered by the threat defense product from Infoblox. Um, what are the challenges that we're trying to alleviate here? Number one is the knowledge of DNS security. So a lot of people don't know how DNS security works, don't know how DNS works internally or externally. So that's a big challenge, and that's something that we're trying to help people out with. We are going to have our specialists, our experts working with you to be able to manage everything that has to do with DNS. Additionally, um, we have something where usually the solution was too expensive for small and medium businesses because you would have to buy a specific amount of licenses and it would not make it viable for the small business. We're also looking at the scarcity of IT talent within the small and medium business. They don't have people that can do the management, can be doing configurations. So that's where we come in also and help out. Um, every day we have new threats, new domains coming up. So basically, we need to have a process, a system where we can be monitoring, tweaking in order to be able to protect SMBs. Um, this product is specifically for SMBs. Whatever is smaller than 400 and no, excuse me, 500 users, this would be a really good match for. Um, and one of the things is that we're looking at is that is DNS attacks are not going away. They are not going away. So this is our solution to all these challenges that are coming up. So right here is where we want to emphasize that this is not us selling just licenses and having our customers try to figure it out. Now this is a fully managed package where basically we are going to go ahead and do absolutely everything for you so that you have peace of mind within your infrastructure. From there, what is the business value for this? Okay, for this product. Number one, we're doing continuous monitoring. We have a SOC, we have a NOC that is basically looking into all of the different incidents that are happening. We have different automations where basically we're getting different alerts into our help desk that come in as soon as something happens. One of our engineers will jump on the different issues that are coming up, and we will go ahead and take charge as far as administering or doing incident response or whatever comes up with the solution. Additionally, we have developed a really easy and fast onboarding product, which helps us roll out different implementations really, really fast. Uh, One of the other things that we're looking at is that once you're enrolled, you will get a fully managed and supported product by humans. Is this is not open a chat bot and and try to see if someone answers. No, we're basically gonna be fielding the tickets. We are gonna have our people fielding tickets, talking to customers, talking to different vendors to be able to protect the specific infrastructure of our clients. Additionally, we have monthly billing. So one of the one of the things that is really important here to tell you is that we have monthly billing. So we're going to go ahead and provide you with the ability to not to pay completely upfront for the product. You come in, you basically sign up with us, and then you will start on a monthly basis paying the solution. Okay? Um, as you can see, we have one of the reports that we generate for a customer where we'll give them uh, an overview of what's happening. So, for example, right here we have our executive summary, and here we're going to tell you how many critical events you have, what type of domains are being watched over, if we have lookalike domains, if we have any data exfiltration or tunneling attempts. So this is something that the customer will get every month so that they can view their infrastructure and what's happening when what we are doing for them. Okay. From here, basically, we're going to go into a small demo where I'm going to show you uh, a little bit of the product. It's not going to be a long demo, but basically, we want to show you that this is a product that's based off info blocks and not some other product. So this is the product of Shield, and basically this is an interface that we're going to be looking at while we manage the the Shield product. And basically here is where we're going to see the dashboard of what's happening in your infrastructure. We're going to see the total amount of DNS activity that we have. We have threat activity. We have data exfiltration incidents. So the idea is that this is our command and how can I say this? Our control center. So basically, we're going to look at all of the activity. If we have impacted devices, if we have any attacks going on, we're going to see them in this dashboard, and then we're gonna take action on what we're looking at. So basically, this is something that our clients are going to be able to see as far as having access to the platform. They will get a read-only access to it. And the rest of the configuration and management is going to be done by us. Additionally, from here, the the configurations that we do basically are at a level that we can configure for them additional filters or security policies. So, for example, we have a security policy uh, that is being used. For example, this is a sample security policy that we have that is being uh, configured. This is basically the list that we have. We can have custom lists, which is a blacklist or a whitelist, and then we can have different types of feeds that we can use in order to block different threats. So this is part of the bundle of what you will get as far as the management service. It's all going to be based off of info blocks, and we are basically adding on top of this our management our management side, which is basically um, managing everything that has to do with with secure DNS. We wanted to tell you that we have a specific coupon for whoever stayed uh, to the end. We're giving a 20% discount if you sign up with us. So the only thing that you have to do is send me an email at Pablo at Rua-Tech.com. Send me an email with what's it called, with the Shield DNS security subject, and I'll get back to you providing you with a 20% discount, so that you can sign up. Um, from here, we're going into questions and answers. So you can actually ask us anything through the chat. I'm going to go ahead and stop presenting so that we can start looking at different types of questions that we have. Okay. All right. Number one. So we have one question, and that question is, why would you choose to use DNS security, a DNS security solution like Shield instead of public DNS servers like Google or Cloudflare? Ernesto, do you want to take? Okay.
Okay, that's a very nice question. Yeah, I'll take it then. Well, there's a difference between preemptive security and what a open resolver can do for you. So, open resolvers are intended to resolve everything and anything, and that includes bad stuff, ugly stuff, and good stuff. So they're not actually filtering anything from you, and you can have a really fast test of what preemptive security looks like when you actually start or when you actually stop receiving some annoying DNS requests or well network requests that are not supposed to be there when you utilize preemptive security. So let's begin with the basics. When you ask someone in the street how to get to somewhere, you probably get some extra directions that you would not like to have because they are misguiding you. So it happens with DNS. So when you use an open resolver, it's not their intention to give you extra feed on what you were asking for, but actually it happens that they got no filters to prevent you from going to bad places. And that's something that preemptive security or protective DNS does. So
Okay,
that's
perfect.
a
Thank you.
completely
So we
different
have another question
view.
here. Does Shield affect performance compared to public DNS, or can it optimize the solution, also providing security?
So the short answer is DNS itself, the way it works, it really does the same all the time. Like you go to a name server, the name server asks another name server that he knows about until they get into either the root servers or the authoritative DNS server. And then they get a response from that authoritative DNS server via all the relays that they've done. So essentially, the routes to get those answers via both an open resolver, an ISP resolver, or a security resolver, or is a service in the cloud is about the same time. You will not get any more overhead or delays of time because you're utilizing a protective DNS. In fact, our DNS service is providing a faster solution because generally speaking, we utilize technologies that are able to be ubiquitous and closer to the user, just like as the CDN services, we got the same type of technology that is called Anycast, that actually provides with one single address. You provide like a whole different infrastructure for every single country or every single region that is closer to the data centers in the cloud. So essentially, it is the same. When you open, for instance, I don't know, your streaming services or your social media, they provide you with the closest location for you so that you get the best experience. So in this case, we do exactly the same.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. Okay, so what is a minimum and what is a maximum for Shield? So I'll take that one. So basically, we can do from 25 users to 499 users. So that's going to be the sweet spot for us. If it's more than 500, then we have to take it into another scheme. But basically, it's from 25 to 499. Okay. Let me see what else we have here. Another question here. Where is this available? So this service is definitely available for the US. It's available for Latin America. We can deliver the service without any problem. Let's see what else do we have. Another question here. Okay, so how do you do the implementation, or what steps are needed to do the implementation? So here, basically, we work with the different companies. We look at their infrastructure. Usually, we will deploy what we call a DNS forwarding proxy. That DNS forwarding proxy is gonna talk DNS to the users, and it's going to do all the protection from that device. It does not have a cost. It's basically a virtual machine, or we can actually use hardware also to do the DNS forwarding proxy. And once it's installed, we can start protecting the enterprise, excuse me, the SMB. So really easy, really fast. Okay. So Ernesto, that's all for questions. So I just wanted to say thanks for being with us here and for pushing with us the Shield product. We look forward to seeing what what is going to happen with this solution, and we're very excited also to be able to help these smaller companies in order so that they can be protected and that they don't have issues with any type of attack.
Sir, I only have to thank you because you invited us and you are believing in us as a vendor, as the company that we represent, and uh, you giving us the ability to outreach some other markets that are not available for us because our intended purposes, original intended purposes. It is really a honor to be with you here today, and let's make a safer world one query at a time.
I agree. I agree. So if anybody needs anything from us, my I will go ahead and put my email in the chat. If anybody needs anything, you want to ask me a question, whatever you need, please go ahead and reach us via my email. And from there, I say so long and thank you.